for TGT-PGT. This channel provides biology content for all TET, TGT and PGT exams. This is a video covering Animal Kingdom. This channel also provides pointers of the full syllabus and questions to ace your preparation. Various phylums under the kingdom Animalia, we should first discuss the basis of classification. There are few fundamental common features to various animal groups which form the basis of classification. These features are: first is level of organization, symmetry, segmentation, diplo or triploblastic, presence or absence of coelom, that is body cavity, or presence or absence of notochord. Looking at the first one, that is level of organization, mostly there are three levels, that is cellular, tissue and organ, but it can be broadly discussed as five also, as acellular or protoplasmic level, in which protozoas are some of the examples of protoplasmic level. Cellular level, they can be of two types, that is cellular aggregate. Porifera or sponges are the cells. In case of porifera or sponges, cells are not organized into tissue, but they are arranged in an aggregate form. Also in cellular level, other division is cellular colony. Protist and some algae that belongs to plant kingdom forms cellular colony. The next level is tissue level, where group of similar cells from tissues serves specific functions. Example can be coelenterate. Organ level, some tissues join and function as a unit of organ. Example is like digestive organs, which contains all different types of tissues. And example, phylum example is Platyhelminthes. Next is organ system level also. Group of organs working together to form organ system. Organs such as stomach, intestine, etc. works together in digestive system, constitute digestive system. Example is chordates, annelids to chordates. Though all the members of kingdom Animalia are multicellular, yet all of them do not exhibit the same pattern of cellular organization. These are the different levels of organization discussed, like acellular or protoplasmic level, cellular, tissue level, organ level or organ system level. Also some of the phylums or individuals show circulatory system in the body. Circulatory system shown by the individuals can be of two types. It can be open or closed. In open type, the cells or the tissue bathe in blood, whereas in closed type, there are presence of veins or capillaries for the circulation of blood. The next is symmetry. It refers to the correspondence of body parts in all major respects, like size, shape, position, etc., with the parts on opposite side when divided from the central axis. It can be of three types: asymmetrical, examples are porifera sponges; radial symmetry or bilateral symmetry. In radial symmetry, the animal gets divided into two identical halves when any plane passes through the central axis. Examples: coelentrates and echinoderms or ctenophores. Bilateral symmetry. In bilateral symmetry, body is divided into two identical halves only when a plane passes through the median longitudinal axis. So the line of symmetry remains one in case of bilateral symmetry. Examples are annelids, arthropods to chordates. The third one is segmentation. It is the serial repetition of similar parts along the length of an animal. It can be of external segmentations or internal segmentations. Earthworms show metameric segmentation. Metameric segmentation is the linear repetition of body parts. Examples, so the phylum which shows metameric segmentations are annelids, arthropods and chordates. The fourth basis of classification is germ layers or diploblastic or triploblastic germ layers. Germ layers are the group of cells behaving as a unit during early stage of embryonic development. On the basis of number of germ layers, animals are placed in two groups, diploblastic and triploblastic. In case of diploblastic, embryo is two-layered, consisting an outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and in the middle mesoglia are present. Here in the diagram we can see this is the outer portion ectoderm, in between mesoglia, and inner portion is endoderm. So there are two germ layers present. So the classification is diploblastic. Example: coelentrates, hydra, jellyfish examples. The second one is triploblastic. Embryo is three-layered, consisting of an outer ectoderm. In the middle, there is a mesodermal layer and inner endoderm. Examples: Platyhelminthes to chordates. The fifth basis of classification is coelom. That means cavity. It is a large fluid-filled space or cavity lying between the lower body wall and inner digestive tube. There are three types basically: acoelomate, pseudocoelomate, and coelomate. Acoelomate, there is no body cavity present. Here we can see there is no body cavity present. Example is Platyhelminthes. In the pseudocoelomate, the presence of false coelom can be seen. Coelom is not lined by mesoderm and directly connected to different parts. Example is Ascalminthus. And the third one is coelomate. Coelomate is having true coelom. The body cavity develops entirely lined with the mesoderm. Here we can see this presence of coelom. This portion is the mesoderm, and outer to which is ectoderm, and this inner circles are endoderm, and this space is coelom. Example from annelids to chordates. The next basis of classification is notochord. It is a rod-like structure present on the dorsal side of the animal body. It is derived from the embryonic mesoderm. It has mesodermal origin, rod-like structure, and present in the dorsal side. Three features of notochord. Based on its presence and absence, animals are non-notochords, or which are non-notochords are termed as non-chordates, and having the presence of notochord, they are termed as chordates. So non-chordates are from porifera to echinoderms. These were the basis of classification according to which the animals are divided into various phylums, classes. Have an overlook of how animals are divided into various phylum according to the basis of classification we have discussed in the earlier slide. So this slide shows how animals are divided into various phylums according to the level of organization or basis of classification we have seen. So according to level of organization, the animals can be of cellular level, or they can have tissue, organ, or organ system. According to symmetry, they can be asymmetry, or mostly the cellular level organisms are asymmetrical, and radial symmetry or bilateral symmetry. Mostly the cellular level asymmetrical organisms are acoelomate, that is they lack coelom. Example, so the phylum is porifera, whereas the organism showing tissue or organ system level shows radial or bilateral symmetry. Some of the radial symmetrical organisms are acoelomate, as they lack coelom. The phylums divided are Ctenophora, Coelenterate, and Cnidaria. Okay, Ctenophora and Coelenterate. So three phylums covered. Talking of bilateral symmetry, they can be of acoelomate, pseudocoelomate, or coelomate. Talking of acoelomate, phylum is Platyhelminthes. Talking of pseudocoelomate, phylum is Ascalminthus. And talking of bilateral symmetrical animals having coelom are annelids, arthropods, mollusks, echinodermata, hemichordata, and chordata. So in the sequence of evolution, porifera, ctenophora, coelenterata, platyhelminthes, ascalminthus, annelids, arthropods, mollusks, echinodermata, hemichordata, and chordata. So we will start with discussing each phylum one by one. So starting it off with the first phylum, that is phylum Porifera. Members are known as sponges. Basic characteristics of the Porifera phylum individuals are asymmetrical body, cellular level of organization, and acoelomate. Poriferans bears a system of interconnected canals through which water circulates, and the system is called as canal system. They bears numerous minute pores called ostia on the body wall, which leads to a central cavity called spongocoel or paragastric cavity. The spongocoel opens to outside by osculum. This canal system is used for food gathering, removal of waste, respiratory exchange. Also, the habitat of Porifera is marine. They are diploblastic animals and contain an outer dermal layer of pinacocytes and inner gastral layer of choanocytes. Phonocytes are basically lined up by spongocy. These are also called as collar cells. Digestion is intracellular. Skeleton's presence is marked by presence of spicules. The body of the individuals are hermaphrodite, that is the eggs and sperms are present in the same body. Reproduction, it shows both asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual mainly occurs by budding or fragmentation, or sexual reproduction mainly occurs by formation of gametes, occurs with the help of embryosites or archaeocytes, or sometimes through collar cells also. Fertilization is internal and development is indirect through various larval stages. Examples of uh, individuals of Porifera phylums are Cycon, Spongilla, Euspongia, that is also known as Bath sponge. Economic importance of phylum Poriferas are they are used commercially for bathing and cleaning sponges. They help to clean up ocean floor by boring into dead cells and corals, releasing chemicals to break them down. So next phylum is Coelenterata, also known as Cnidaria. The individuals of these phylums are sessile, free-living. The habitat for them is marine. Characteristics are diploblastic, radial symmetry, tissue level of organization, and they are acoelomate. Coelentrates are the animals bearing a special body cavity called coelenterine or gastrovascular cavity. This is central in nature and it has single opening. They also exhibit dimorphism and display two major forms, namely polyp, which is sedentary in nature, and medusa, which are free swimming. Medusa is umbrella shaped free swimming, and polyp is sessile and cylindrical in shape. Also there is present of nidoblast. These are stinging capsules, also termed as nematocytes, used for anchorage, defense and capturing prey. Digestion can be intracellular or extracellular. Skeleton has calcium carbonate deposition. They show alternation of generation between the sexual medusa and asexual polyp forms. These phenomena is termed as metagenesis. Polyps through asexual reproduction forms medusa, and medusa through sexual reproduction forms polyps. Example of an individual showing these type of alternation of generation is Opelia. Their skeleton in coelenterate, skeleton may be endoskeleton, exoskeleton or absent. Some of the examples are Physalia, which is also termed as Portuguese man of war, Adamsia, Penatula, Gorgiona, and Mandrina. Economic importance, they take part in the formation of coral reefs. Example is Millipora, that is also termed as stinging coral. Their skeleton has medicinal value. They have ornamental value too. Star coral example. Next phylum is Ctenophora. The members of this phylum are generally have the habitat of marine, free swimming, also known as sea walnuts or comb jellies. The characteristics of the individuals are diploblastic, tissue level organization, radial symmetry, and acoelomate. They have a gelatinous mesoglia present between epidermal and gastrodermal tissue layers called as comb plates. These are ciliated external and help in locomotion. Coloblast cells are the sensory and adhesive cells present in Ctenophora. The body of the individuals are hermaphrodite. Reproduction is only through sexual ways. Fertilization is internal or external. Developmental is through indirect through various larval stage. Digestion can be intracellular, extracellular. Also they show a unique characteristics of bioluminescence, that is emitting light. Economic importance, they reproduce quickly and are good predators. They can bring down an ecosystem. Next phylum is Platyhelminthes. The individuals of these phylums are known as flatworms as they have dorso-ventrally flattened body. The characteristics are triploblastic body, organ level organization, bilateral symmetry, acoelomate body. Habitat for Platyhelminthes, they are mostly found as free-living forms, but few of them are parasitic in their habitat, majorly endoparasites. The free-living forms can be freshwater, marine, terrestrial forms, or parasitics are majorly endoparasites. These animals have bladder-type nervous system and peculiar cells called flame cells. For osmoregulation and excretion, also the body of individuals shows hookers and suckers present in parasitic form of the individuals. The nutrition they absorb from host. As their body is hermaphrodite, these animals are generally bisexual reproducing ones. The fertilization happens internally, development is indirect through larval stages. Examples is liver flake, fasciola, and tapeworm, Taenia, also known as pork tapeworm, Taenia solium. The economic importance, fasciola causes fasciolitis or liver rot, which is characterized by hepatitis. The next phylum is phylum Ascomyces. The individuals of these phylums are known as roundworms, as their body is circular in cross section. They are long, cylindrical, unsegmented, thread-like animals with no lateral appendages, thus commonly called as roundworms, bagworms, or threadworms. Basic characteristics are their triploblastic organ level organization is present, bilateral symmetry, and pseudocoelomates. False coelom is present. Body wall of this pseudocoelomate animals is composed of complex cuticles. They have tube within tube plan of digestive system. They have mixed number of cells in every organ of the body. Excretory system is present, which is H-shaped and contains renate cells. The body of the individuals are dioecious. Habitat is terrestrial. They can be terrestrial, free living forms, aquatic and parasitic forms of Ascomyces. The body is dioecious. Fertilization is internal. Development can be indirect or direct. They show presence of alimentary canal, well developed with muscular pharynx present. Some of the common examples are Ascaris, roundworm, Wucheria, Filariae, and Cyclostoma. Also, another example is Lua lua, that is eyeworm. The difference in the body of the female and male can be seen as the length of the body of the female are longer than the length of the body of the male. Economic importance, ascariasis causes ascariasis in humans. Also, there are some phytoparasitic nematodes in the phylum Ascomyces. The next phylum for discussion is phylum Annelida. Annelids are segmented worms with an elongated body possessing triploblastic system, triploblastic layers of system. They show organ system level of organization. They are coelomates. They are bilateral symmetrical. They also show metameric segmentation. The external division of the body by annuli corresponds to internal division of coelom by septa. They show muscles which can be longitudinal and circular for locomotion. The aquatic ones, the habitat of the individuals of the phylum Annelids, they can be aquatic, terrestrial, free living form or parasitic forms. The aquatic ones have parapodia for swimming. These are the locomotory organs like minute rod-like chitinous seta or suckers which are embedded over parapodia. They have closed circulatory system, that is they have some of the veins or capillaries present. A peculiar or special structure called nephridia is present for the osmoregulation and excretion of waste. They have pair of ganglia too, which connects to the lateral nerves to double nerval cord, ventral nerve cord. Reproduction, it can be asexual or sexual, asexual by fragmentation, and sexual. Fertilization is internal or external, external in earthworm and internal in Hirudinaria. They can be dioecious, they can have dioecious body or monoecious body. Monoecious in Hirudinaria and dioecious in Nereis, that is an aquatic form. Development is direct in monoecious form and indirect in dioecious form. Some of the common examples are earthworm, leash, lungworm, bloodworm, sea mouse. Economic importance, earthworms are used as fish baits for improving the soil fertility. Also, polynual shows bioluminescence and this phenomenon is used in self-defense. Also, these are the first animals to show a closed circulatory system. Next phylum is phylum Arthropoda, that is the largest phylum of the kingdom Animalia. It consists of two-thirds of the species on the earth, which includes insects with jointed legs and chitinous exoskeleton. Basic characteristics are trifloblastic, organ system, level of organization, bilateral symmetry, coelomate. Their body is divided into three parts or segments: head, thorax, and abdomen. They are hemocoelomates. True coelom is replaced by hemocoel, pseudocoel with blood. The body appendages are variedly modified in different arthropods to perform various functions, such as body appendages can be for running, example in cockroach, pollen collection in honeybee, jumping in grasshopper, swimming, belostoma, grasping the prey, raptorial pro legs in praying mantis, digging in forticola. They have jointed appendages. This is the peculiar structure of arthropoda. The respiratory organs includes gills in some, book lungs, and tracheal system in some of them. These are the first animals to have an endoskeleton and voluntary muscles in their body wall. They have well-developed sensory organs which include antenna, sensory hairs, simple or compound eyes, auditory organs, satocyst. They also have well-developed endocrine system containing glands like corpora cardiaca, corpora allata, etc. Mouth is always surrounded by mouthparts of different types in different animals. Mouthparts of some of the insects can be piercing and sucking type, example in mosquito, chewing type in beetles, rasping type thrips, siphoning type in butterfly or houseflies. Houseflies has sponging and sucking type, siphoning type in butterflies. Arthropods have special respiratory and excretory structures. Respiratory structures, as I discussed in can be gills, book lungs, tracheal system. Some of the examples: gills, prawns and crabs, book gills in king crab, book lungs in scorpions, tracheal system in insects and some spiders. Talking of excretory structures, they can have antennary or green glands. Crustaceans majorly have antennary and green glands. Malpighian tubules in insects. Causal glands in scorpions and spiders. They also have nervous system. Their nervous system possesses all three types: central, peripheral, and autonomic nervous system. Reproduction, circulatory system is open. Sensory, we have talked. Talking of reproduction, sexes are separated, that is mostly dioecious. Fertilization is internal. These animals are generally oviparous or ovoviviparous. Development can be indirect, can be direct. Development direct in examples are cockroaches, or indirect. Some of the arthropods undergo parthenogenesis, example drones of honeybees. Talking of some of the common examples of economic importance are apis, bombyx, lassifer. Apis is honeybee, Apis indica. Bombyx mori is silk moth. Talking of vectors, or vectors for various diseases, Anopheles mosquito, Culex mosquito, and Aedes mosquito. Okay. Anopheles is a vector for malaria. Culex is Japanese encephalitis. Aedes is dengue. Talking of some of the arthropods which act as pests, example is locusta, locust. Living fossil, there is a presence of living fossil in the phylum Arthropoda, that is Lumulus, that is king crab. King crab have book gills like respiratory organs. Correct? Yes. Talking of economic importance, Lumulus is a living fossil. Honeybee provides honeybees. Apis indica provides wax and honey. Peripatus act as connecting link between Arthropoda and Annelida. Prawn and lobster are used for food in many countries. Microtrim, white and termerite, causes loss to furniture and other wooden articles. Next phylum is the second largest phylum of the kingdom Animalia, that is phylum Mollusca. Basic characteristics are trifloblastic, organ system level of organization, bilateral symmetry, coelomate body. Habitat, they can be aquatic or terrestrial. The study of mollusks is called malacology, while study of molluscan cell is called conchology. Their body have calcareous cell, unsegmented, distincted head, foot, visceral hump. In the interior portion of the head, there is presence of sensory tentacles. Exoskeleton is calcareous cell, which may be present or absent in some. Body divided into head, foot, and mental cavity. the space between the hump and the mental is basically called as mental cavity. Mental cavity has feather-like gills. A rasping organ called radula, which is basically for feeding, is present in buccal cavity of most of the mollusks. A peculiar sense organ is also present called as ostradium, which check the quality of water. Respiratory structures, basically three types: gills, pulmonary sac, or gills plus pulmonary sac. Gills is present in Pila patella, pulmonary sac present in Limax. Excretion occurs by one or two pairs of metanephridial tubules called kidneys or organs of Bojungus. Reproduction. Sexes are usually dioecious, but some are hermaphrodite. Most forms are oviparous, but only a few are viviparous. Fertilization is external, example Patilia, or internal in Pila. Development is either direct or indirect, including some of the common examples of mollusca phylum are Pila, that is apple snail, Septa cuttlefish, octopus devilfish, edible oyster, that is Osteria, ear cell, sea hare, sea lemon, grey slug, tusk cell, dentalium. Economic importance: Mosquins like oysters, squid, and cuttlefish are used as food in many countries. Cell of many mosquins is of ornamental value. Dentalium is used as decorative piece, that is tusk cell. Sepia ink has medicinal value. So the next phylum is phylum Echinodermata. It is a group of exclusively marine spine-skinned animals. They have endoskeleton mesodermally origined of calcareous nature. The basic characteristics are they are triploblastic or have organ system level of organization, show radial symmetry adults, while larval forms have bilateral symmetry. They are coelomate. The digestive system is complete, having a ventral mouth and dorsal anus. They have a presence of water vascular system of coelomic origin, in which tube feet is present, which help in locomotion, capture, transport of food, and respiration. Stone canal and radial canals are also present. They have degenerated some of the characters of the previous phylums, like head, respiratory pigments, and excretory organs are absent in these. Sense organs are poorly developed. Circulatory system is of open type. They have separate sexes. Reproduction is majorly sexual. Fertilization is external. Development is indirect through larval free swimming ones. Also, they have great power of regeneration. Some of the major examples are Asteraceae, that is starfish, sea urchin, brittle star, basket star, feather star, sea lily, sea cucumber. Economic importance: Antodon, that is sea lily, is supposed to be a living fossil. Eggs of sea urchin are used for embryological studies. Sea cucumber is used as food in many countries. Next phylum is phylum Hemichordata. This includes worm-like marine animals. This was earlier a subphylum of Chordata. Commonly, this phylum is called as half chordates or pre-chordates. It includes acorn worms, tongue worms. They are exclusively marine, mostly tuberculous, primitive chordates. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, so organ system level of organization, and two coelomates. Their body is divided into three regions: proboscis, collar, and trunk. Their body is cylindrical. Okay? Long trunk is present. Their foregut gives out a thick and stiff outgrowth called stomochord or buccal diverticulum. They have open circulatory system. Excretion is through proboscis gland. Respiration is through gills. The sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. Development is indirect. Reproduction by sexual reproduction. Sexes are usually separate. Development can be indirect or direct. Indirect with a free swimming Tornia larva. Some of the examples are Belanoglossus, Saccoglossus. Economic importance: they show affinities with annelids, echinoderms, and chordates. So the next phylum is phylum Chordata. Animals belonging to phylum Chordata are characterized by the presence of these features, that is notochord, presence of notochord, dorsal hollow nerve cord, pharyngeal gill slits or gill clefts, and postantral tail portion. These four structures are found in the embryological stages of all chordates. Notochords, it serves as a primitive internal skeleton. It may or may not persist throughout life. It may be replaced partially or completely by a backbone or vertebral column. Dorsal tubular nerve cord. It lies above the notochord and persists throughout life in most chordates, or in few it degenerates through maturity. Gill clips or pharyngeal gill slits. They appear during the development of every chordate, but in many aquatic forms, they are lined with vascular lamellae which form gills for respiration. Post-anal tail, an extension of the body that runs past the anal opening. In terrestrial chordates, which never breathe by gills, traces of gill clips are present during early development but disappear before adult life. Classification of the phylum Chordata. It can be divided into three subphylums. First is Urochordata, Cephalochordata. Both these subphylums are combinedly termed as protochordates. The third one is Vertebrata, also known as Craniata, because of the presence of cranium, that is brain box. In Vertebrata, the young individuals have the presence of notochords, whereas in adults it is replaced by vertebral column. According to the various features, vertebrata is divided into two groups. These groups are divided according to the presence or absence of jaw, agnatha and gnathostomata. In agnatha, jaw are absent, and in gnathostomata, jaw are present. Okay, so talking of agnatha, that is jaw absent, the class is cyclostomata. Example or individual of cyclostomata class is lamprey. Gnathostomata is further divided into two superclasses, that is class Pisces and class Tetrapods. Pisces have the presence of fins, or tetrapods have the presence of limbs. Talking of Pisces, superclass Pisces, these are divided into two classes, Chondrichthyes and Ostrichthyes. Chondrichthyes are basically cartilaginous endoskeleton fishes. They have exoskeleton also. Mouth is placed ventrally. Caudal fins are present. Gills are not covered by operculum. They don't have swim bladders. There are 5 to 7 pairs of gills present. They also have some electric organs. Poison stings are present. Mostly viviparous. Examples are sharkfish, stingrays, sharks, etc. Great white shark. The second class is Ostrichthyes. They have bony endoskeleton. Exoskeleton comprises of cycloid, ganoid, etc. Scales are present, which are basically of mesodermal origin. Mouth is terminal. Caudal fin is also present. 4 pair of gills are present. Swim bladder is present. Gills are covered by operculum. Electric organs are absent. Mostly oviparous. Example, labio, rohu, beta, katla, etc. Talking of tetrapods, the presence of limbs are there. It is divided into 4 classes: amphibia, reptilia, aves, and mammals. Talking of the superclass Tetrapoda of vertebrata subphylum of phylum Chordata, the basic feature is they bear limbs. Classes are amphibia, reptiles, aves, mammals. Talking of the heart chambers, amphibia has 3, reptiles have 3, aves have 4, mammals have 4. Individually discussing, amphibias are cold-blooded, smooth skin, glandular, skin is glandular, heart is with 2 auricles, 1 ventricle, respiration occurs by lungs, cavities, skin, gills. RBCs are nucleated. They have largest RBC of animal kingdom. 2 pairs of limbs each with 5 toes. Fertilization is external and they are oviparous. Metamorphosis is seen. Iodine is required for the metamorphosis. They are amniote, that is amnion is absent. Examples: frog, toad, salamander, etc. Reptilia or reptiles. They are also cold-blooded. Skin is cornified and covered with scales. Heart consists of 2 auricles and partially divided ventricle. Respiration occurs by lungs. RBCs are nucleated. 2 pairs of limbs, each with 5 digits bearing claws. In snake, limbs are absent. Thecodont teeth. Yeah, that means teeth are embedded in the jaw sockets. Fertilization is internal. They are oviparous. Creeping and burrowing is the peculiar feature of the reptilia animals. Example is snake, turtle. The next class is aves. That means birds. They are warm-blooded. Skin is covered by feathers. Heart contains 2 auricles, 2 ventricles. Respiration occurs by lungs provided by air sacs. RBCs are nucleated. Forelimbs are modified to wings and hind limbs are modified for walking. Swimming and perching. Hind limbs bear claws and scales. Teeth are absent and upper and lower jaws are modified into beaks. Fertilization is internal and they are oviparous. They also have presence of crop and gizzard, specific features in alimentary canal of apes. Examples: parrot, pigeon, ostrich. The next and last class is mammalians, mammals. They have four chambers of heart, contains two auricles and two ventricles. Warm-blooded animals. Skin is covered by epidermal hairs. Respiration occurs by lungs. RBCs are enucleated, that means RBCs lack nucleus. Quadruped limbs whose digits ends with claws or nails or hooves. In whales and dolphins, limbs are absent. Dicondict skull is present. Thecodont, that means teeth are embedded. Heterodont, various types of teeth. Incisors, canines, premolars, molars are present. Diphodont teeth, that is they have two sets of teeth, milk teeth and permanent teeth. Fertilization is internal, both oviparous and viviparous. Example of oviparous mammal is platypus. Also they have specific feature structure, presence of mammary gland. They have four cavities in coelom. Example: rabbit, human, squirrels, etc. So here we have covered all the animal kingdom, all the phylums and classes of animal kingdom. Do give a like if you like the video, share and subscribe to WebSmart for TGT-PGT.